Massachusetts State Police Trooper Michael Proctor has been fired from his position at the department. Proctor's termination comes following his appearance before a state police trial board over allegations of misconduct while working as the lead investigator in the high-profile Karen Reed case. Reed is accused in the death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, and is scheduled to be retried on the charges. This morning, Colonel Jeffrey Noble says he has accepted the board's recommendation to terminate Proctor. The veteran state police trooper was relieved of duty just hours after the first Karen Reed trial ended in a hung jury back in July of last year. He was suspended without pay weeks later.
Hey everybody, it's AV. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about all things law, true crime, and a little bit of debauchery. Guess what I heard today? Breaking news. Mr. Michael Proctor, the Massachusetts State Trooper, the lead investigator in this case, has been fired. This comes after a disciplinary probe following his explosive testimony in Karen Reed's trial, where his credibility took a massive hit. Let's break down what happened. Proctor, a 12-year veteran of the force, led the investigation into the death of Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Karen Reed, O'Keefe's girlfriend, has been accused of hitting him with her SUV and leaving him to die in a 2022 snowstorm. But during the trial, Proctor's credibility was put under the microscope, particularly because of the offensive text messages he sent about Karen while investigating her. Let's take a peek.
Do you see anything?
Nope.
In these messages, Proctor called Reed a whack job, a babe with a C word. He even joked about looking for nude photos while searching her phone and saying that he wished she would kill herself. Jurors were visibly shaken when these text messages were read aloud in court.
Is that what you were thinking?
It was my understanding they were not going to be involved.
Now, if we could turn to page 2537, 5051 writes, but I assume you guys are out to make it cut and dry since it involves cops, correct?
Yes.
And Bird writes, something stinks, correct?
Correct.
And then Trooper Proctor, you responded, yeah, but there will be some serious charges brought on the girl. Isn't that right?
That's right.
So in that text exchange, you were saying, yeah, we're out to make it cut and dry, correct?
No.
You didn't write, yeah, we're going to follow the evidence wherever it takes us. You didn't, did you?
I did not write that.
You didn't write, yeah, we're going to make sure that we investigate this thing fully and thoroughly before making any decisions. You didn't say that, did you?
I did not.
You wrote, yeah, but there will be some serious charges brought on the girl. Isn't that right?
Correct.
And the reason you wrote that is because you knew, as the text above it says, this has to be cut and dry because it involves cops, right?
Objection.
I'm going to allow that. Is that the reason you wrote it?
No, Your Honor.
And then you indicated, we're going to put serious charges on the girl. Who did you mean by the girl, by the way?
The defendant.
Karen Reed?
Yes, sir.
So the way that you were going to make it cut and dry, pretty simple. Just pin it on the girl, right?
Objection.
Is that right?
Absolutely not. Follow the facts and the evidence from that day on the 29th. And everything led to Miss Reed hitting Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle.
Give it to Karen. She's like, you are full of shit. She is looking at him like, you are full of shit. Full of capote. You are full of shit. Okay? Let's just bask in this moment. Shout out to Karen, man. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's keep going. I had to celebrate that.
Vehicle.
But that wasn't the question that you were answering, was it? We're going to follow the evidence and make sure we do this thoroughly. The question you were answering was, I assume you guys, you, Trooper Proctor, and your team are going to, quote, make it cut and dry since it involves cops, meaning Brian Albert, correct?
That's the Dave Chappelle moment. She's like, got him, gotcha, itch. That's the face. That is the Karen face right now. I love it.
Correct. Doesn't matter to me if the homeowner's a cop, if the victim's a police officer. Myself and everyone in my office investigated this case that Saturday, had an overwhelming amount of evidence that Miss Reed struck Mr. O'Keefe. So it didn't matter to us what their occupation was.
We'll see. Let's keep reading, shall we? 5051, a little further down, says, gotta be, I could only imagine what internal affairs at BPD are trying to get out there. Correct?
Correct.
Meaning, this person, 5051, was opining, at least in your mind, you interpreted that as being, Boston police are going to have a lot to answer for, given the fact that another Boston police officer was found dead on that officer's lawn. Correct?
Objection.
What were you thinking?
Can't speak to the mindset to that comment. I wasn't sure how to interpret that one.
All right, next question, Mr. Jackson.
Then 5051 changes gears and he writes, she hot at least, correct?
Yes.
And what was your response to that?
From all accounts, he didn't do a thing wrong. She's a whack job cunt.
From all accounts, he didn't do a thing wrong. She's a whack job cunt. That's what you wrote, correct?
Correct.
16 hours into this investigation,
Yes.
into your objective and unbiased, thorough investigation.
We need to
correct?
go like this.
Correct.
I'll be back.
But sir, you didn't have all accounts, did you?
What I meant by that was
Did you or did you not have all accounts in your investigation?
the accounts we had was Miss Reed struck Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle, discovered taillight pieces at the scene. Those are the accounts we had.
The accounts
And then
you
some.
had, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The accounts you had, Trooper Proctor, were from two people named McCabe and one named Albert, who happened to be the homeowner and a Boston cop. Those are the accounts from recipient witnesses that you had, correct?
There was another additional witness that we had investigators had interviewed, Miss Roberts as well.
And from all accounts, he didn't do a thing wrong. That was your decision 16 hours into the investigation, correct?
Yes.
And the other decision that you made and the other determination you came to was my client, Karen Reed, was a whack job cunt, right?
Yes.
What else did you say in response to she's hot at least? Or she hot at least, question mark.
So following that text, I responded, yeah, she's a babe. Weird Fall River accent, though. No ass.
Yeah, she's a babe. Who's the she?
Miss Reed.
Weird Fall River accent, though. You talking about her, the way she talks?
The accent.
And no ass. Now you're talking about her body or physique, correct?
Yes.
You think that's appropriate?
Absolutely not.
Then Bird chimes in with a little comedy. Not newsworthy then, correct?
Correct.
In other words, well, if she didn't have an ass, nothing to see here, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
And then 5051 says, oh, she's skating, right?
Correct.
And what did you write after that?
My response was 0 chance she skated.
And then what did you write?
She's fucked.
0 chance she skates. She's fucked, right?
Correct.
You decided on the 29th of January, 17 hours into this investigation,
Guys.
you decided individually to
This is the lead investigator on the case. Somebody's dead. People are over here bagging and tagging evidence in red Solo cups. This is the main man investigating this. 16 hours in, and he's basically saying that Karen Reed did this thing and that she's fucked. You didn't even, the shards haven't even come out of the freaking ground yet. They haven't melted yet. How is she fucked? How? Where were the shards? You were looking, they were in all of those. Oh my God, I'm so mad. Oh my God.
for Proctor. You're not only going to put it on the girl, you decided you're going to make sure this is cut and dry, and the way you're going to do it is to make sure that she's fucked. That's what you were saying.
Objection.
All right, so that's sustained. You can, the content's fine. You have to ask it differently.
17 hours into this investigation, Trooper Proctor, you made the decision that you were going to put it on Miss Reed, didn't you? Put the case on Miss Reed. She was going to catch the case, correct?
No, absolutely not.
What did you mean then when you said she's fucked?
After the day's investigation with multiple troopers conducting multiple tasks and a debriefing at Canton PD amongst detectives in my office, we went through the overwhelming amount of evidence against Miss Reed that she struck Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle. That's what I meant by that comment.
What you meant by that comment, Trooper Proctor, was you were going to make sure because 5051 had said she's going to skate. She's skating. When you said 0 chance she skates, she's fucked. What you meant was, I'm going to make sure I am going to make sure Ms. Reed doesn't escape. She's fucked. That's what you meant, isn't it?
Objection.
Sustained.
And then Bird decides to chime in. Good, no ass bitch, right?
Yes, that's what he wrote.
And how did you respond to Bird saying, good, no ass bitch?
I laughed.
Thought that was funny, did you? Trooper Proctor? Thought that was funny?
It was unprofessional of me. That's something I shouldn't have done.
Well, I think we all know it was unprofessional. It was a lot of things. I'm asking you, did you think it was funny?
This ninja still has a job.
Is he still here? Nope, not here anymore.
After the trial ended in a hung jury on July 1st, Proctor was suspended without pay. Now, an internal review has determined that he improperly shared confidential case details and sent derogatory texts leading to his termination. Well, I mean, it's about time. In a statement, the state police stated, "Our mission depends on public trust, and we must hold each other accountable when that trust is broken." But Proctor's family is speaking out, and they have been this entire time, calling his firing a scapegoat move.
More than 3 years after Trooper Michael Proctor got a call to investigate a body in the snow, his wife Elizabeth and his sister Courtney say they had no idea how much their lives and their families' lives would change, including for their young children.
But that's sort of what breaks me, is when I see them playing and so happy, and I'm like, God, they have no idea that their parents' world is crumbling.
Karen Reed's defense has accused Proctor of trying to frame her for the death of John O'Keefe, including by planting pieces of her SUV taillight at the scene.
Is there any doubt in your mind that Michael Proctor might have framed Karen Reed?
No doubt whatsoever in our mind. No doubt whatsoever, and the evidence shows that. The investigations show that.
During Reed's first trial, Proctor did admit to writing insulting text messages about her, including that he hoped she would kill herself.
Because the evidence pointed to this woman killing a fellow Boston police officer. So he was angry, he was upset by that. So I understand the need that he had to vent to friends, whether it was appropriate or not.
Elizabeth and Courtney Proctor say those messages do not justify the harassment they say they've received from Reed's supporters, including rocks thrown in their yards and anonymous voicemails like this.
I'm gonna be your kid's new mommy, and I'm taking your kids and I'm taking your dogs.
A blogger named Aidan Carney, who goes by the name Turtleboy, has been charged with witness intimidation in this case, but the Proctors say he's not the only one responsible.
His wife and sister claim he's been unfairly exploited for doing his job, and they argue his texts just show that he's human, not corrupt or competent. Court of public opinion, what do you think?
He's full of baloney.
Here's the deal. I had an opportunity to talk to Turtleboy, and we broke down what Trooper Proctor said. And we looked at some of the Commonwealth's leaders and why it took them so long to take action when it came to this. Let's check it out. Trooper Proctor, it was crazy. That's what I saw in passing. That was insane.
Yeah, Proctor would be my second choice, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Because not only did he... I mean, my biggest beef with Proctor is that he knows the McAlberts, and he conducted an investigation that intentionally did not investigate at all. And that, he lied in his police report when he said he towed Karen Reed's car. He said he towed Karen Reed's car at 5:30 p.m., which would make it impossible for him to get back to Canton and plant taillight. Except the Dighton police report and Karen's ring camera footage, or Karen's parents' ring camera footage, shows that the car was towed from Karen's parents' house at 4:12 p.m. So he lied. That gave him an hour and 18 minutes unaccounted for with the vehicle. And so that it is possible to plant taillight in that much longer window of time. So that's why he lied about that. But what people will most remember of Michael Proctor, the trial, of course, is what was discovered in the FBI investigation. And that is the content of his disgusting, vile text messages, and he calls Karen Reed horrific names, makes fun of her medical conditions, calls her a bitch. Says he's looking for nudes in her phone. Objectifies her.
The C word was thrown in there.
Calls her the C word, whack job, every horrific name possible. He calls her in those text messages.
And so just so people understand, he was performing this investigation. He was like the driving force behind it.
Yep. Yep. And he's
Yeah.
close friends with the McAlberts. So, all that. And what's underrated about some of his text messages is, for instance, he tells this other trooper named DeChico that, oh, yeah, here's how you get the medical examiner to say it's a homicide. Like, they're busting each other's chops about that, about like how they can manipulate a medical examiner to give the cause of death that they want to happen. And it's just so corrupt and it's so shady. And these guys are pigs. They're literal pigs. And I'm not using that in the sense that we're calling cops pigs. Like, they're chauvinists, right? They're animals. They're it's like a flashback to an era that we're supposed to be behind. Like, I think there's like 20 cops in this Norfolk detectives unit.
Yeah.
And every single one of them, to my knowledge, is a white male. And like every single one of them is like, like my age, like 40 years old.
Yeah.
Most of them have shaved their cone heads. They all have shaved their heads, and they're all just like, it's a locker room bro culture that they clearly have there, because we saw in their group text messages. I mean, Proctor was sending these messages saying that he's looking for nudes. He was sending that message to his superiors in a group text message.
Meanwhile, Karen is preparing for her retrial, which is set to begin in a few days on April 1st. Prosecutors are moving forward with the case despite Reed and her legal team maintaining that O'Keefe was actually killed by fellow officers in a massive cover-up. I don't know if you know this, but AT&T recently revealed that 73 million customer records were released, both existing and former customers, on the dark web. If my information was compromised in an AT&T data breach, I'm not worried, because Aura is always on, always doing the hard work to keep me safe. I value my privacy, and I also value yours. You can go to aura.com/AV7 to start your free 2-week trial using this service. Also linked below in the description. Protect your information today, guys. It's super important, and I cannot tell you how much time it will save you in the event that you get into a jam. So what do you think? Was Proctor's firing justified, or is he just being made an example of? Drop your thoughts in the comment section, and make sure you're subscribed for continued coverage of the Karen Reed retrial. Like, share, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the latest updates. I'll be back soon with more breaking news. Stay safe out there. See you in the next one. Bye.